How's it going, fellas? This is D Wayne, bringing you the Week 12 game of the week. I'm a little behind this week. We're flying through some games, and with some crazy weather we've been having, I've been out of power for most of the day today, so I haven't got we've about half the week's already been played. We still have some good games left. The one game that intrigues me is a perennial division winner of the NFC North and a perennial wild card team out of the NFC. I'm going to go with the Redskins versus the Vikings this week. The Kingpin versus J-Bone. It should be a good game. Two very competitive teams. Two teams that are in it to win it this year. Like I said, they both will all win all in on it. Let's take a look at the teams. Let me pull up all their stuff real quick, guys. I'm sorry, I'm all alone. Houday, I hope you get better. It's a lot smoother when it's with you on here. Alright, guys, let's look at the Redskins real quick. You got your quarterback, Henry Sewell. Not such a great year so far. He is a rookie. I'm going to give him a break on that one. 63% passing percentage. It's not bad at all. Very decent for a first year. The only thing that worries me is 10 touchdowns to 16 interceptions. That's a lot of interceptions. But like I said, it's his rookie year. He has been sacked 17 times. He's only got 75% pass rating. A lot of that, like I said, has to do with the interceptions. His yards per average is only 8. But like I said, it's a rookie year. I'm going to give him a break. It's a learning curve jumping into the OMFL with the rookie quarterback. His rushing game, led by Carroll Blake and Thomas Rawls. Carroll Blake, 559 yards, 6.1 yards a carry. Thomas Rawls, 527 yards and 4.7 yards a carry. It looks like Blake has been hurt for 4 games this season. I see he's only played 6 games. He's averaging 93 yards a game. He is the stud for the Redskins when he's healthy. 6 touchdowns on the year. I hope he stays healthy because this guy looks like he'll be able to carry T-Bone or J-Bone through the season. If not, Rawls looks like he'll pick up the slack for him. Receiving, we got Jordan Reed, tight end, leading the way, 29 catches, 402 yards. Josh Doxson, 29 receptions, 488 yards, 16.8 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns. And DeAnthony Thomas, the speedster, 24 catches, 437 yards for a great 18.2 yards a catch. We got Blake coming in with 189 yards. Crowder, Thomas. He really spreads the ball around. You got 6 people right there that are within 15 catches of each other. And I like to see that. That's good variation in his offense. Like I said, you look at run after catch. That's crazy. 12 for Blake, 8 for Thomas. He really spreads the ball around well. It ought to make for an interesting game versus the Kingpin. Defensively, he's led by Telvin. Sorry, guys, you have to ignore that. Telvin Smith, Alton Neeson, and Alan Wharton. 61, 60, 56 tackles respectively. This guy he flies the ball. He's got 4 guys that just hit people in the mouth in the backfield, and Smith, Ambrose, White, and Ragland. Ragland, if you remember, was a part of if I'm not mistaken, was a part of the Bills dynasty the last 2 seasons, and he's made his way over to the Redskins. He also leads the team in sacks, and that's a different thing. Unless I'm not mistaken, if he runs a 3-4 or not. Ambrose, you got 2.5. Out of Purdue, you got Everson Griffin at the left end getting 2.5 sacks, and Walter White at the other end getting a sack and a half. That's just unique. Your 2 leading sack guys are both linebackers. That's just real unique. It's real awesome. Alton Neeson leads the team with 6 interceptions. Demarius Randall comes in with 3 interceptions, and Wharton comes in with 3 interceptions. Ambrose brings in 2 with multiple Redskins with 1. That's good. It's not great numbers, but it's very good numbers. Looks like for a very solid defense. You got a host of people with forced fumbles, and Ragland, like I said, leading the way. Ragland looks like a force to be reckoned with on this team. And if the Redskins can cut down on the interceptions, I think this offense would churn at a lot more efficient rate. We'll just leave it at that. Let's look at the Vikings. And then we're talking about an efficient rate. Bridgewater has not been very efficient this year. The Kingpin is the air-out king. The Kingpin likes to throw the ball. He is a magician with the passing offense, but it has not translated well for Bridgewater this year. 2,600 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, and it hurts me to say this because I hate throwing interceptions, and I get sick at the just hearing interception. 22 interceptions for Bridgewater. I don't know what you're doing, Kingpin. You're way better than that. You put up crazy numbers with Kaepernick a couple seasons ago, and I think Bridgewater is a vast improvement over Kaepernick. I know you're better than that. I think you put yourself in some situations where you have to pass the ball sometimes. I'm going to cut you some slack. I know you're better than that. 266 yards a game, 8 yards per attempt. Could be better, 67 rating, but like I said, interceptions. Cut those down, man, and Bridgewater's rating is a lot higher. Rushing attack, and this is the tail of those interceptions. You got to run the ball better than this. Damian Williams, 237 yards rushing, 2.5 yards a carry, 7 touchdowns. I can't knock that. 7 touchdowns is good. 23 yards a game. Jerick McKinnon, 43 touches, 133 yards, 3 yards a carry, 26 yards per game. And Waddle, 31 carries, 79 yards, 2.5 yards a carry, a touchdown. Kingpin, we got to get more out of them running backs. Looks like you're trying. Lewis is the only one over 3.5 yards a carry down here. We just that goes a long way to tell you to get far in the playoffs, Kingpin, and you look like you're going to be on your way there this year. We've got to have more of that running game. You got to be able to just knock people in the mouth and run the ball and open it up for Bridgewater, because if you do that, you'll be scary. If you can run the ball, you'll be a dark horse favorite to win the Super Bowl, in my opinion. Let's look at the receivers. Jermaine Kearse, 42 catches, 617 yards, 14 yards a catch, 2 touchdowns. Treadwell, 37 catches, 514 yards, 2 touchdowns. Pruitt, 552 yards, 15 yards per catch, a touchdown. Cheek, who a few years ago, if you remember that, was a first-team All-Rookie in the OMFL. Has took a step back when it comes to he's the third or fourth option in the offense, but still respectable, 378 yards. Hasn't got a touchdown this year. And Cody Core comes in with 238 yards. That's a surprise. I like to see him making plays like that. A lot of variation in his offense. I love seeing that. If he could just get that run offense to run efficiently like his receiving core does, I'm telling you, the Kingpin would be scary. Defensively, he's led by Gathers, Byers, and Kendrick, 61 tackles, 54, 49 respectively. Some big names on this defense. Tackles for loss, this says a lot. 15 tackles for loss for Floyd, 13 for Hunter, 11 for Hill, or Grunger Hill. I don't know if I said that right, to Kingpin. I'm sorry if I didn't. Malcolm Brown, Byers, Kendricks, Gregory, Winslow. This guy is knocking people in the mouth in the backfield. I love it. I love run defense, and he is the epitome of run defense right here. I love seeing that. Sacks, he don't have a ton of sacks. Gregory is 5.5. Robson has 4.5 at cornerback position, which I love to blitz the cornerback too. Shout out to that, Kingpin. I love that. Malcolm Brown, 4. Sharif Floyd with 3. Hunter with 2.5. He's not getting a ton of sacks, but he's getting an adequate number. And he's getting in the backfield as tackles for loss. I love it. I love seeing that. Byers, 2 interceptions. Wayne's, 2 interceptions. Rushing, 2 interceptions. And 3 more. He doesn't get a lot of interceptions. But you don't have to. If you're hitting people in the mouth in the backfield like he's doing, just sit back and play coverage, because people are going in second long, third long. You ain't got to make interceptions. You do not have to make interceptions. But I'll take a punt all day when they're 3rd and 14 because they couldn't run the ball the first 2 downs. All right, that's some look at some individual statistics for these guys. And I'm going to make this one shorter than normal. I usually like to ramble on a little bit longer than this. But like I said, with the weather, I don't know. The weather could kick this power off anytime. That's Arkansas for you. We'll look at some team stats. Offensively, you have the Vikings on the lower end, probably the lower 2/3. 2,500 yards passing. And like I said, I know the rushing hurts. 547 yards through 10 games. A little over 50 yards a game. We got to have better than that, my man. 19 points per game. That's not horrible. 7 passing touchdowns, 11 rushing touchdowns. Let's look at the Skins. 1,700 yards passing, which, like I said, not quite as good as the Vikings. But their rushing game, almost twice as many rushing yards. You got to love seeing that. 20 points per game, 11 touchdowns passing, 11 touchdowns rushing. defensively, it looks to me the Vikings are 4th in defensive passing at 1,920 yards through 10 games. It's less than about 190 yards a game. That's very good. Like I said, 6-4. You're holding people to you have a winning record, which means you win the majority of your games, and you're holding people to less than 200 yards passing. That's fantastic. 800 yards a game. That's a little bit surprising rushing because, like I said, he is ahead. Most teams, especially in this league, kind of they hit the panic button, they get behind, and they just abandon the rushing game. Well, they haven't abandoned him. He's averaging almost 82 yards a game rushing against him. But so far, it hasn't exactly hurt him. Like I said, he does have a winning record, and if I'm not mistaken, he's second, one game behind the Bears right now in the standings for the NFC North. He's gave 186 points through 10 games. He has 23 sacks, 7 forced fumbles, 12 picks. Like I said, I'd like to see more picks, but when you hit people in the mouth like he does, you don't have to. Let's go down and stalk out the Redskins for a few minutes. Gave up 2,229 yards passing, 849 yards rushing. Not bad. Not too far off from the Vikings in the rushing game, but he gives up about 40 yards more a game passing, which isn't horrible. He gives up 19.3 points a game. He has 19 sacks, which, like I said, is not quite as much as the Vikings, middle of the pack for the league. 7 fumble recoveries, 18 interceptions, which I like to see, which he's almost averaging 2 interceptions a game. That's a big deal. If you can make teams turn the ball over, especially if you don't have the run stop like the Vikings do about hitting people in the mouth, you got to make some interceptions because, like I said, you let people get in 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 2 short downs. People are a lot less predictable. You get somebody getting 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, you can sit back and wait for that guy to throw it or pin your ears back and go after the quarterback. Conversion-wise, we'll look at some 3rd down percentage. Redskins at 40% right now. Isn't horrible. It isn't horrible. That's probably league average. 4 downs. That's a real telling. 100%. He's made the most out of his 4th down chances. I like to see that. You don't see a whole lot of teams just go for it, especially successfully on 4th down. Most people kind of panic when they get on 4th down. Not J-Bone. Vikings 38%. Not much. Just maybe a little bit below league average. 5 out of 11 on 4th down. He goes for a lot more. Not quite as successful as J-Bone. But like I said, it's a telling tale. You have to be in those situations to know. Let's look at red zone efficiency. There you go. The Vikings, 86% in the red zone offensively. I like to see that. I would like to see more touchdowns, though. 13 out of 29, but 12 kicks. But you still got to come away with the points. And the famous words of Ducks, if you were in field goal range, you have to come home with points. I didn't take much from you all. I mean, I don't take much advice from you Ducks, but I took that one. You got to have points when you're in scoring position. You can't throw the ball away. Vikings are doing that. Defensively, he gives up 80%, which, like I said, it's hard. If you go by the same philosophy, the other team's going to be safe and trying to get points too. He gives up 80% in the defensive red zone, which isn't horrible, but you would like to see a few more stops. The Redskins at 78%, which isn't bad, but once again, I would still love to see more touchdowns, but you got to get points. 18 out of 23 in the red zone. He's getting points majority of the time. 73% defensive red zone. It's better than the Vikings, but like I said, I would still like to see that number a little bit better. Just for the fact that it's heartbreaking, it's back-breaking to stop somebody in the red zone when they think they're going to get points and you take that away from them. That is a game changer. Turnovers. Let's go down here. Next time, I'll be more prepared for you guys. Like I said, it's been a long, long day. Redskins +3 turnover differential. That's not bad. Like I said, right above that 500 line where it just evens out. It's not horrible. You'd way rather be in the positive than negative. Like I said, if you cut down some of those interceptions, he'd be a lot better. And Vikings, I can already tell you just the way he throws so many interceptions. Come on, the Kingpin. 2 fumbles lost. I wish I had that number. Cut down your interceptions, man. And you, like I said, you might be 8-2, 9-1 right now if you cut down those interceptions. It's amazing that you're 6-4 and have thrown 23 interceptions this year. Kudos to you, man. You're pulling these wins out. I never want to see nobody lose. I love seeing everybody win, unless you're playing me. Okay, guys, let's see. Let's look at some standings real fast, and we'll wrap this up so that Nate can send it out to y'all, and we can kick off another beautiful week. if it'll load up for me. There we go. NFC right now, we have the Seahawks, Falcons, 49ers, Bears, Vikings, Eagles, Giants, Bucks, Redskins. There's your Redskins. On the outside looking in right now at 5-5. You're gonna have to, you control your own destiny. You really need to win this week because you got a host of teams right in front of you, and you got 5 teams with 6 wins right now. You need to win to stay pace. Vikings 6-4. You need to win this game. You're 5-1 division. He's 3-2. If you win this game, you'll be 7-4. He'll be 7-3. Like I said, you're putting yourself right there. You got to keep winning out. Put yourself in a position to where you hold your own destiny and you're not having to worry about nobody else. Redskins in their division are a game back right now behind Giants and Eagles. The Cowboys are still only a game behind you. You need to win to control your own destiny. I haven't looked at your division record, 2-2. You need to take care of your division games, but it starts with this game. You need to win this game this week. And the same thing with the Vikings. You need to win this week to control your own destiny. I know you're kind of a lock right now, or I don't want to say a lock. You have an upper hand in being a wild card team, but it would be great for you to win the NFC North and be a top 4 seed. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got for today. I'm going to throw you my prediction out. It's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going to say 34-27. And I hate to say this, J-Bone, but I think the Kingpin will come out of this one. I just don't think, unless you cause turnovers on the Kingpin, I think he's going to air it out, and I think he's going to score points. Your defense is going to have to step up because you know what he's going to do. You know he's going to come out and throw the ball. It's going to be a fun game, guys. I hope y'all can tune in. And, guys, I'll be watching. I hope everybody's watching. I think it's going to be a great game. 34-27 Vikings to tie for the Bears for division lead. It's going to be a good one. Guys, have a great week. I'll have a better game plan put together for the next game of the week. Let's have a good one. Playoff race is pushing. Let's get it, guys. Have a good one.